What is happening, everybody? Welcome, welcome to the extras. Happy Friday, happy 4th of July to everybody. Sorry, still getting set up here. Hope y'all are having a great one. Hopefully somebody's in here. Oh, look, there's a lot of people in the chat. Okay. Nance in there first. What's going on? KO in there too. Nance says, randomly check YouTube while at the party. Okay. Well, hey, have a good time, my man. Thank you for checking in. KO says, not today. Hey, it's okay. What is this experience points now? I was noticing that myself. All I know is at the top it says top fans and has a little like purple crown. So I guess you're a top fan. You and Falcor. What is going on, Falcor? Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Happy 4th. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm 100% with you, Fal. Yeah. But we do have something cool to celebrate. I tried the, I wasn't able to find the Yuzu, the new Spindrift, but I did get, on CB's recommendation, I did get it's called Grape Aid. So, I don't know, we'll see. It is a hot pink, baby. It is, here we go. Cheers, y'all. Yeah. It tastes pretty good, though. Thought we could talk about something. Oh, Angelina in there today, too. What's going on? Hope you're doing well. Happy Friday. Happy 4th. Thought we could talk about something fun and kind of lighthearted today, you know? Not get too into the weeds yelling at corporations and getting copyright claims. Crooked Orchid says Halloween is the best holiday. I agree. I'm with you. I like Halloween too. Hopefully the mic sounds okay. Kind of sounding weird on my end a little bit. It was a little low. There we go. Okay. Top fans, that's right. You know, I have no idea what that's even based on. So I don't know. I guess I'll have to look into it. Maybe I can pull that up real quick. Okay, top fan badge. Oh, it's recognizes highly engaged viewers. Okay. Oh, that's cool. I've never seen that on here. So, that's cool. Well, hey, thank you guys for being highly engaged viewers. That's sweet. Falcor says, sounds fine for me. Awesome. KO says, I have 75 points. I don't even know what that means. Maybe... Oh, you know what? I think that I can, like... I don't know. Maybe I can, like... You can get badges if you get to a certain... I don't know. All I know is about Twitch. I'm seeing all of this for the first time, so Falcor says it's her first time seeing it too. Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, I wish I would have noticed that beforehand. I would have looked it up and found the answers. But, yeah, I don't know. But yes, it does. Okay, so I have a button on my end where I can click on it and it has a list of the top fans. Okay, cool. Alright, so that way I can shout you guys out. Angelina, I think the points are like next to the chat box, right? Yeah, Falcor says, Twitches I understand, this I do not. Yeah, this has to be a new rollout thing. I wanna figure this out. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. It tastes like a grape popsicle pretty much, but 14 calories, guys. 2 grams of sugar. I'll take it. That's delicious. Better than a soda, right? Falcor says KO, it's magic. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what is causing this. But yeah, so let's see here if I can find. I don't know why it's oh, here it is. Okay. AI has an answer for us. Okay, so it's just engaging with the content, I guess, is what it's based on. Oh, it says I can turn it on and off. Increase visibility. Your comments and interactions are more likely to be noticed by the creator or other viewers. Ooh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. Once like we become a real channel, I think I can do like the custom emojis and all of that stuff. I can't do that yet though, because I'm Mr. 30-something subs. Oh, okay. Falcor says she sent a screenshot of what it looks like on that side. Okay, I want to see this. Oh, okay. A place for fans to stand out in the community, huh? Okay. Send live chat messages. Send super chats and super stickers. Well, you can't do any of that here because I'm not monetized. But hey, you know, we'll try. That's cool. KO says, once I get more than 70 downloads. Yeah. No, I think what I actually need is 500 subscribers to be able to do that. So, I don't know. You know, to be honest, if I made shorts and posted shorts, like little clips of the lives, I think we could probably get some more people to watch, but honestly don't know if I want that. Because like every time these videos get like 1,000 or more views and all these new people are watching, it's like, I don't know. It's not something I'm seeking out, is what I'm saying. So, I don't know. You know, if we hit that 500, that'd be cool. The first stage of monetization, you get 500 subscribers and 3,000 watch hours, and you then you can have memberships and get super chats and super stickers, apparently. And then at 1,000 subscribers, that's when you get like ads and full monetization. Yeah. KO says, that sounds like works. Yeah, it is definitely work. It's a lot of work. Hopefully, hopefully Bacon Strips isn't going to roast me in the comments about my appearance. I don't know if, like, I think I got stung on the face by, like, a hornet or something when I was working outside. Something hit me really hard, and it hurt pretty bad, so... Yeah, looks like I got punched. If you're noticing that, I don't actually know what happened. It was very fast. I was running the string trimmer, so it could have been either one, you know? KO says, that's why I lost mine. Oh, because of the watch time hours you're talking about? Okay. I don't know. I want to say we have, I think we're at like 1,500 watch time hours. It's over a year, and I started under a year ago. I think it was in October we started. So, I think we're at like 1,500 watch hours. But if we had 500 subscribers, we would have enough watch time to hit the 3,000. So, Falcor says, Julian McMahon died. Oh. Hold on. No way. Wow. Man. That's tragic. He was only 56. Wow. Oh, okay. Angelina says it only popped up on the Android, not on the iPhone. Oh, okay, that's interesting. I didn't know that affected it. Meech is in there. What's up, Meech? Happy 4th to you, too. Oh, KO, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh, man. Oh, gosh. That's so sad. Losing a dog is terrible. It's like, God, that is definitely a really hard part of pet ownership. I recently lost an old dog. It's so hard. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Crooked Orchids. Oh, okay, she says, sorry, I had my page here monetized, but I don't do it enough anymore after my dog was put to sleep like 6 years ago. Oh, okay. Okay, all right, rewind. I was not understanding. This happened years ago, and your dog passing away was the reason that you stopped doing YouTube as much. I got you. Okay, got you. Okay, I was like, wait, what? Okay, Foxy is rocking hard that fur ball. Okay, good. Okay, I was like, wait a second. I didn't know your dog. I was very confused. Okay, we're good now. We're good. That was the reason that you stopped doing the YouTube channel. I got you. Foxy is alive and well. Okay. All right. Okay. Yes. Falcor says, oh no. Oh, not the dog I met. I was about to yell at you so hard. Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't think your dog was old. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, what? Why didn't you say something to us? Yeah, right? Yeah, definitely. Okay, well, I'm glad we cleared that up. But still, man, that's tragic about Julian McMahon. I haven't seen, like, the Fantastic Four movies or anything, but Nip Tuck was so good back in the day. Like, his character on that was so good. I loved Nip Tuck. Not a lot of the bros were watching Nip Tuck back then, but I loved that show, man. KO says, sorry, keyboard hate crimes over here. It's okay. Oh my gosh. I'm glad your dog is okay. I love these little crowns next to y'all's names. That's kind of cool. But yeah, that is sad about Julian McMahon. Oh, it says he had cancer. Oh. Man, that is terrible. Terrible. Oh, okay. I guess he didn't tell He didn't tell people what was happening. Oh. Oh, that is too bad. Oh, man. Well, cheers to Julian McMahon. KO says, I hate watched that show. He was good on Charmed, too, Falcor says. KO says, Falcor helped me learn to brush her hair. Oh, okay, good. Falcor's probably got all kinds of awesome grooming tricks, man. Falcor taught me about Grinch toes and how to fix it. So yeah, definitely. She's got all the knowledge about making the dogs look good. Falcor says, not me derailing everything. I just chat about whatever in the beginning. I didn't even start. But yeah, so basically I thought we'd talk about tipping. Because, like, I don't know, I got feelings. First, we could talk about restaurant tipping. I got feelings about that, you know? But then also, tipping is kind of taking over every business slowly. And it's getting to be a little bit much. Like, I used to be a server, so I have some strong feelings about tipping in restaurants, of course. But, yeah, just the iPad being everywhere and that iPad flipping towards you is real, dude. It is real. It's happened to me a bunch this week, so I wanted to talk about it. KO says, it was such a good show. Rich Toes. Rich Toes? Is that a character from Charmed? I didn't watch Charmed. Someone you should tip is your dog groomer. Exactly. See, that's a perfect example of someone who you should tip. It's like tipping at the salon, you know? You gotta hook up your person who made you look good, and it's the same way with your little doggy. Jack is back. Jack in the chat. He says, hey guys, what is going on? Jack is up in Canada. He's here for our 4th of July tip ranting extravaganza. But yeah, so I thought we could start off talking about the restaurant tips, okay? And we got a few restaurant servers who have some strong feelings they want to share too. So let's just jump right in on this.
I've been seeing a ton of videos.
Kels Gordon on TikTok, and she says her thoughts on the tipping culture as a former waitress.
Videos of people giving their opinions about what we should be tipping servers, and I have an opinion. I always have an opinion, and I think that some people might not agree with it, but I'm gonna give it anyway. And I was a waitress, so my opinion has merit. I wasn't very good. If you've never been a server before, it's hard.
She said I wasn't
it's a really
very
hard
good.
job. I don't think that you always should be tipping 20%. Sometimes you can get away with tipping less. Sometimes you should be tipping more. I think the biggest factor that contributes to how much you should tip is how long were you there. In most cases,
I mean, that's a factor, how long you were there, for sure. KO says, I also hate our system. People ask what the amount of the bill is, and you tell them, and they enter the amount. I know this now, so I tell them to skip it. Okay, I gotcha. So you have one of these at the restaurant that you work at. Okay, I got you. See, if you're picking up food, even if you're picking up food at a full-service restaurant where they have servers, if you're picking food up there, I feel like you need to tip 10%. That's fair to me. Same thing with catering. If you're picking up... Oh, okay, Rich Toes. Rich Toes is refers to the dog grooming. Okay, I got you. No, Grinch Toes. That was, it's my little Aussie, dude. She's got, well, you can see her right there in the shot. She's got, like, those real long hairs on her feet, you know? And I shared a picture of her, and Falcor was like, no, that's not how we do this. So now we got her right. We got the right scissors. We got everything now under control. But anyway, so I don't think tipping 20% at a restaurant is mandatory. I feel like that's kind of like middle of the road, like, or maybe high end, like really good experience. I think 15% is still a decent tip at full service. Yes, the Grinch, like the green guy, the big green guy who stole Christmas. Yes. Falcor says, LOL, the Grinch feet kill me. Dude, and my little girl, she definitely gets that, man. Like, she has, like, little, like, we call them her feathers, like, on the top of her feet. Like, the hair grows longer than the rest of her. It is so funny. But yeah. Yeah, no, I got the special scissors. We got the clippers. She's good. Yeah. But yeah, watching those videos, I love, it's very satisfying when they round off the paw and make it look all perfect. I can't do that, obviously. She's not looking like professionally groomed or anything, but you know, she's getting her Grinch toes trimmed anyways. So she's gonna tell us why we need to tip 20%, I think.
20% is right, but not always. If you want to hear about the bane of my existence when I was a waitress, it's the fact that we had a really nice patio. And people would like to just go, get a spot on the patio, and order drinks. That's fine. Totally fine. What's not fine...
How dare you sit on the patio where there's seats and we serve you?
Fine is when you're there for hours on end. There was one time that these two...
Now, I think we were talking about this. Meech maybe was talking about this. Sometimes you want to sit in the restaurant and hang out and talk to people for a while. I don't think that's unreasonable to do. If you want to sit in a restaurant for 3 hours, you paid for the table, do it up. You know? Just make sure you're taking care of the server, because in that time she could have had 2 or 3 other tables in this example. Jack says, I used to get some crazy tips when I worked at a moving company. Like 50 to 100 Canadian for one job each, or lunch or dinner, sometimes 4 to 6 guys. No kidding. Wow. See, I feel like the mover, that is somebody you really want to tip, because you want them to take care of your stuff. So I totally understand tipping the movers. Yeah. KO says, Foxy's a Chow Chow Shepherd. I got the best I can do. Okay, yeah. Okay, I would tip per drink then. Yeah, see, I think either way is okay, but, like, I don't know.
Ladies came in, they sat in my section on the patio for my entire shift. Now, if you know how it works being a server, you have a specific section, and those are the only tables that you're going to work that day. So the faster you get people in and out, the more people you see, the more tips you get. So if somebody is taking up one of your tables for the entire day,
and they took up
you
all
can't
the
see anybody
tables.
else, you can't get any more tips. We didn't have any kind of policy for how long people could stay, so as long as the restaurant was open, they could stay. They both ordered 2 drinks the entire time, and they tipped me 20% on those 2 drinks. Absolutely not. No. Jail. That's actually
jail.
Absurd.
Actual
Maybe
jail.
People who
Straight
have never
to
been
jail.
servers don't.
Now, sitting there for multiple hours and only getting 2 drinks is wild. That's wild. Okay? That's a little bit much. I definitely tip per drink. I think you gotta tip like way, but I mean, what are you doing at the restaurant if all you wanted to do was sit there and have a drink? Sit at the bar, you know? But like, clearly this this was a big enough deal because she's not even a server anymore. She said she's a former server, but she remembers this incident so well, like it's made a mark on her forever. So when you stiff someone at the restaurant, people are definitely, you know, they remember you. They remember what you've done. And oh my gosh, that girl's really funny. Okay, but yeah, then you got the other side where sometimes the servers are a little bit too demanding, and what the tip that's left to them isn't enough.
A $15 tip on a $245 fucking bill. So this family of 6 comes in, okay? Nice people, whatever. They order drinks galore. I'm talking margaritas, wines, beer. I mean, like, they're just racking up this bill. And all of their entrees are super expensive, okay? You're talking steaks, expensive burgers, chicken plates. I mean, again, they are...
KO says she was a bad server. I'm with you, yeah. Like, I feel like if you aren't able to turn that table, that's on you, girl. You know, like if you are a server, you need to know how to pressure people into leaving when it's time for them to leave. And that's called turning tables. And if you're not good at turning tables, then, you know, maybe you shouldn't be a server. You know, it's pretty simple. Jack says if you're going to burn a table like that all day, go to a fast food place like Starbucks, not a local or family-owned place. Yeah, exactly. KO says, how am I number 3? KO, I have no idea, because you are definitely my most prolific commenter. On my analytic... Yeah, Angelina says the points are confusing now. I'm with you. I don't know what causes the points. I don't know if it's watch time, if it's like, I don't know. I don't know what it is. Jack is number 1 now, all of a sudden. I don't know how that... it's interesting. But, okay, so this guy, I don't know if I agree with. He got a tip at the restaurant. Jack says, makes no sense. Yeah, I have no idea. This guy got a tip. He didn't get stiffed, but it wasn't enough for him. And sometimes when you're a server, people are going to stiff you. And then sometimes when you think you've done a good job, the person didn't have a good experience for whatever reason. And that's kind of on you to provide that good experience. And if you don't, then you're not going to get the tip. That's how it works. Oh my gosh. Okay, good to hear, Angelina. Glad to hear the babies are doing well. The due date is soon, yeah? KO says, I'm nothing now. What happened? Oh my gosh, what is going on? I have no idea what's going on with this. KO, you have moved to 4th place. But everyone has... Okay, no, I can see it now. Everyone has 75 XP. I think that it's just because he just joined. I think whoever's just joined is going to jump to the top is how it works. Yeah, because Meech has 50 XP and everyone else has 75 XP. I don't know. I don't know. I cannot explain it. Jack says foul. He got someone to read off his name earlier on the stream. Oh, that's funny. See, it was a good one, but because of my exposure to garbage radio and comedy, I was like, wait, hold on. I've seen this on RMG. That's why I thought you were a friend. Because I was like, I thought it was like, you know, we're all fans of this radio show, and there's people on there who make up those little like pun names. So yes, that's that's really funny though that somebody read it out loud. Yes, Foul, people are fighting for points. I don't know. I guess we're gamifying the chat now. I don't know if I like this or not. Oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know what to think of this. I'm gonna do some more research about the purple crowns.
They're really racking this shit up high. And not to toot my own horn, but I gave some damn good service. Didn't have to ask for a refill before you could even look to find me. Boom, I got you with a full soda. Boom. Offering great suggestions and being there for your every need, I got you. If any one of them had an ask...
See, I feel like if my server had sunglasses on, I probably would ding him for that.
Itch of any kind, I would have been there to scratch it. And not to mention, they even got a free appetizer. Somebody incorrectly ran an appetizer order to their table, didn't tell me about it, and ate the whole thing, so they got a free appetizer. And then the bill comes out, $245, and you left me fucking 15 for that great service that was provided at the very least.
Now, $245 bill, and you're leaving $15, that's rough. Like, that's like... Clearly, they had an issue, and it didn't get resolved, and probably because they didn't bring it up. Because some people are sheepish about bringing up issues that they have in a restaurant, which I totally understand. Nobody wants to be, like, awkward and confrontational. KO says, I'll be okay, blood pressure is down. That's funny. Yeah, we'll sort out what the XP thing is here. I'm not sure. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like $15 is a decent tip if they weren't there for that long, you know, especially if they had a bad experience. And you can't expect everyone to tip you well as a server. That's just part of it. But also, if it's your position to be one of those guys that's like, actually, it's a problem with the system because, the employers should actually pay their employees a livable wage, and, it's not my job as the consumer to subsidize that. And I want to smack people that talk like that. Because if you want to make that argument, fine. Don't go to restaurants. If that's your argument that restaurants should pay their employees better, then take the stand at home and shut your mouth. Don't go to a restaurant and stiff some poor server because you have some different, you know, societal norm that you comply with that's out of the norm of what is expected at a place like that. It's not the place, you know. You're not gonna make an argument to a 19-year-old kid who's trying to pay her rent and change the world, you know. If you decide I'm not gonna go to full service restaurants that don't pay their employees well, fine, awesome, that's great, whatever. They don't want you there if you're not going to tip, because that's how these people make their money. And everyone who goes in there knows that. So if you're going to go in there knowing that you aren't going to tip and knowing that these people make $2 an hour and you're going to make them work their butts off for nothing, don't go in there because you're a dick. Like, that's crazy, crazy stuff. But we're about to see a bunch of people who do just that. Yeah. KO says also if they want a free app. Yeah, exactly, dude. Some people complain to try and get something for free. And then another thing with getting something for free, if they comp something for you on your meal, you need to tip and include that amount because the server still brought it to you. And you know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I'm going to try and not get too riled up here. It's still early. The goose is not loose yet. But okay, so here, this girl is going to talk about a table that she had, okay? And she was upset about. KO says, I'm guessing this is New York or Cali. The service has a problem. I spent a weekend with a guy and we only spent $300 for food and drinks, and he called me a cheap date. See, a whole weekend for $300, that's, I hope that doesn't include tips. But like, you know, if you're gonna sit at a bar or sit at a restaurant and drink, like, some people don't tip on alcohol. It's crazy. They're like, oh, I don't tip on alcohol. Like, bro, you know what happens when you order a drink? Your server has to literally pay the bartender for it. Okay? It's called tip out. And they're also tipping the food runners. They're tipping out to the closers in the back of the kitchen. And they're tipping out to the bussers. And sometimes the hosts. So they're tipping out to all of these people based on their gross sales. It's got nothing to do with, oh, well, that customer only left me $1. Well, the bartender still made you 7 drinks. So you have to pay them a tip out based on the amount of those 7 drinks. That's why I'm saying it's diabolical to go out and try and make this argument at a restaurant. This girl, clearly, I feel like probably needs a different job, or maybe just a day off or something. Jack says, damn, that's like my monthly food bill for 2 right now, but I hit the self-checkout. Okay, see, so you're telling me, Jack, in Canada, 2 people can eat for a month on $300 of groceries? That's wild. Because, I mean, I just paid $90 at the grocery store, and I got, like, not even 2 days worth of food. That's crazy. Maybe we need to move to Canada. But yeah, so this girl needs a day off, okay?
I'm in the middle of the fucking dinner rush. A table gets sat in my section. Maybe mid-30s, good-looking guy, good-looking girl. I go up.
I don't know why this girl's so mad about, like, describing them. She is just heated. She's heated this whole time. Jack says 300 USD for sure. Okay. That's great. I mean, man. Wow. That's awesome.
They already have drinks from the bar. I'm like, okay,
grocery prices here are
fine.
insane.
Girl, gorgeous. Long blonde hair, blue top, stunning. I go up to her and I go, oh, you know who you kind of look like? You kind of look like Megan Maroney. Because she did. She was like, stop it. That's such a compliment. I'm like, no, I mean it. And the guy starts playing it.
Okay, so she said she looked like Megan Maroney.
The guy
Okay.
starts going, oh, she's hotter than Megan. And I'm like, oh, are you kidding me? Of course she's hotter than Megan, you know. Turn my back to start walking away. Before I even take a fucking step, this woman says, loud enough so I can hear, while I'm still in earshot of her, goes, wow, she's really pandering for her tips tonight, huh? Babe, what the fuck do you think my job is? Also,
I thought that was great, because how are you going to criticize the server for being nice to you? Like, what is going on right now? KO says, why is Jack number 1? I seriously, I think it's just because it's the order of joining at this point. I'm not sure. But, man, that was a bad pause on that girl right there. She is so upset. But, like, how are you gonna be mad at somebody for this? By the way, this is Gemma Morrow. She has a lot of videos about being a server. She's very animated. She likes to scream in her car in the dark. I think it's kind of like catharsis after a whole day of like doing horrible shift work as a server. KO says, I cook and make food every night for my husband and I. But do you know how much decaffeinated coffee is now? Oh my gosh. I would not know how much that is because I would never buy decaffeinated coffee. This story is long, but basically at the end, like, it's pretty clear that the couple was, I know, KO says I love this still, right? She, like, is so upset, got the finger up, I love it, it's perfect. Angelina says, I like to scream in my car, too. See, I think it's freeing, you know? But maybe not every one of the rants needs to be on the TikTok. But I understand her frustration, because after that treatment, Jack says all coffee is crazy, and chocolate too. Okay, yeah. KO says it's $3 more for decaf? What? For what? For what reason? That makes no sense to me. We might have to investigate that on a different stream. But, so what happens is, the guy who's on, like, probably a third date, she's surmising. He apologizes to the girl when she brings the check, because his date gets up to go to the restroom, and he apologizes for how she was being rude to him, or to the server. And, that really got me, because it's like, dude, if you know that she's being rude, like, what are you doing? Why, like, call that out. Even if you're just on a third date, whatever. But, he did tip 20%, but she was, all in a huff. So if you want to hear that whole thing, that's Gemma Morrow on TikTok. Taking the caffeine out. That's right, KO. It's a lot of work to take the caffeine out. For some reason, $3 more for the no caffeine. Okay, but here is someone explaining tip out for, Black Magic in the chat. He says, hey everyone, happy 4th of July. Chilling by the pool, but wanted to pop in and say hello and wish you all happy holiday. I'll watch the replay tomorrow. Be safe. Talk to you all on Monday. Well, hey, cheers, Black Magic. Thank you for being here. Happy 4th of July, and I hope you have a great weekend as well. And we will see you on Monday. We'll be here. Yeah, okay, so this young lady's going to explain tip out.
Yesterday was little treat time. Today is going...
Okay, so we can go a little bit in here.
That, like, oh my god, yes, this. And so I just want to come on here and just talking about
here we go.
Waiters and waitresses at sit-down restaurants. You have to tip out. For me, 20% is the baseline that I have to tip, and then if I think that they have done exceptional, then they get an extra 23%, 24%. I was so
KO
surprised
says,
that people did not know this.
If anyone is rude to a server, that's a no more seeing them. Yeah, magic is over. I'm with you, KO. I'm with you. Like, if someone's rude to a server, that's a personality trait, and it's a huge red flag. If you, I don't care how bad of a day you're having. If you're going out in public and someone is going to serve you, you could at the very least be kind to them. It's really not asking a lot.
And they're saying that, it's not our fault that your employer doesn't pay you enough. You'll have to pay for our service, or else you are stealing.
This is what I was talking about. I hate this argument so much.
I'm working for you for free. Not only that, this is something that a lot of people don't actually know. In a lot of restaurants that I have worked at, they automatically take your tips, your credit card tips, and give a portion of it to
okay, see, at her place, they base it on your credit card tips. That's a little more fair. At places I've worked, they base it on your sales.
When you don't tip, I'm having to pay the bartenders and server assistants for your table. That money
absolutely.
that other people have tipped me gets taken out regardless. So you're not only stealing my labor, you're actively taking away money from other tables that I have served.
Yeah, exactly. You're taking attention away from other tables.
My days of waitressing, I've had people, like, I've had a party of 2 rack up a $300 tab and then give me exact cash. You
exact cash? You had 300 cash, you couldn't throw her $20? What a... Oh, wow. Oh, man. That's bad, dude. Like, you... Oh, man. That is bad. So, here is someone that I really disagree with. He basically gets off on not tipping. He's like one of these people that I was talking about earlier. Angelina says, I went on a date with a guy that was rude to the server for no reason. Never talked to him again. That's exactly right, Angelina. That's a great move. You dodged a bullet right there because he told you who he was right then. Right on the first date. You didn't have to waste any time or money. That's fantastic. Black Magic says, no worries, just hanging out and getting some sun and relaxing with the family. Well, hey, man, that sounds great. Yeah, it's, oh, okay, you said you're chilling by the pool. That's awesome. Well, enjoy that pool, my friend. I was filling up the cow's stock tank earlier, and I was looking at that like, man, that cold, clear water kind of looks inviting. It is hot, you know? KO says, what was the movie, Waiting? Yes. Oh my gosh, dude. That movie was so just 1,000% accurate. All of those characters work in every restaurant, okay? If you're not familiar with the industry, check out that movie because it'll tell you everything you need to know. But here's this guy is going to tell us, he's going to tell us why he doesn't tip.
Guys, I'm not trying to sound like a dick, but I don't
Well, you are. You are one. Just letting you know right up front.
tip. And in all honesty, I probably never will. And you can't make me feel like a bad person for doing it. Like, every time the check comes out and they ask me how much...
Okay, number one. Why do we talk like this? Why is it that when a camera's on, everyone talks like this? Like, that's it's like the Mr. Beastification, you know? He's like doing the Mr. Beast voice. Like, what is that for? KO says the hog tank, Drew, no. Yeah, no, I don't have, no, mine's not like that. Not like Charlie's. It's not nearly as nice. Mine has actual cattle drinking out of it, so no. No, I was just joking. I definitely would not, no, I definitely would not get in that water. It's gross. But, sorry, what was I talking about?
Me feel like a bad person for doing it.
Oh, yeah, okay, so why does everybody have to talk like this on YouTube? As soon as the camera's on, we have to talk like this.
The check comes out and they ask me, how much do you want to tip? I put $0 every single time, no shame. Because let's be honest here, you guys, we all want to do that shit. It's just some people don't have the balls to. Like you. Yes, you watching the video right now. If you went to a restaurant and the tip option didn't even exist.
KO says, how old is this baby? I know, exactly, right? Like, this kid is 17. He's probably never worked a service job, I'm guessing. And honestly, real quick, you know how some countries have mandatory military service? I think that our country should be a pioneer, okay? And we should have mandatory restaurant service. And you have to work in a restaurant as a server for 6 months. 6 months of your life, you have to work as a server. Required. And if you don't do it, you aren't allowed to go to restaurants. Because I think that would change it would change a lot of people's attitudes. It would change a lot of people's minds. And I think restaurants would just in general be happier places for everyone involved. Yeah, KO says, why yelling? Yeah, I don't get it. I don't get the yelling. I don't understand it either. But I think that if we just made everybody work in a restaurant for a little while, all of this stuff would go away. Because there's always these guys out here, oh, what, you want a tip for carrying a plate and bringing me some silverware? Try it, dude. Try the job. Try it. Like, that's my advice. Try it. Try full service if you think it's that easy. Because the people who do that make a lot of money. And if you think that you would be good at it, then you're really missing out on a lucrative opportunity by not doing it. KO says, mandatory restaurant dress down. That's right. Forget the mandatory military service. We have mandatory restaurant service. That's my idea. Okay, so I guess we'll let him talk a little bit more and explain his. Tessa in the chat, what's going on? Queen Tessa, what is up? Hope you're having a great 4th of July over there. Thank you for joining us. We're talking about tipping culture, and we're hearing from a guy who thinks that you shouldn't tip anyone ever. And Hakeo thinks he's a child.
You're telling me you would have stood up and been like, yeah, sir, I want to give you $5. Get the fuck out of here. Because, like,
Yes, because that's what you do. When someone gives you good service, you give them a tip. That's normal human decency. And children don't understand that, so I can't expect him to.
You guys, it depends on the restaurant that you're going to. Like, if I went to...
Yeah, like, if you're at a sit-down restaurant and this kid comes in with all his little dickhead friends, the server's gonna ignore you, bro, because they know that you're not tipping. So, if you want to sit there and get ignored, then act like this guy.
A really nice restaurant, I would probably tip the waiters. But, like, if I'm at fucking Subway and the goddamn worker expects me to tip his ass, respectfully, he can lick my ass. This is
Okay, now, Subway is different. Subway is not a server. Oh, KO's back to number 1. What's up? See, how did Tessa not jump onto the thing? You know, because when Jack jumped in, he made one chat and instantly had the number 1 next to. I don't know what this is. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But yeah, this kid is a jerk. Don't listen to him. But he brings up an interesting point, and that is, do we tip for counter service? For to-go orders, are we tipping? And my position on this is, if you're picking up from a full-service restaurant where they have servers, then tip 10% on your pickup order. If you are picking up an order for more than 4 people at a quick casual place like Chipotle or Subway or something, then maybe you throw a tip on there because it's like a lot of extra work, you know, maybe whatever. But to say that we need to tip on Subway is a little bit crazy. Tess says, oh, do I need to overload the chat? No, I don't think so, because Jack just had one chat and he became number 1 immediately. So I don't know how, and then KO just, I don't know. I have no idea how it works. Okay, KO says I have 150. Oh, you know what? I can look at it. Hold on. Okay, yes, KO has 150. Everyone else has 75 or 50. Okay, so, yeah, I don't know what they've... I need to figure it out, Tess. Ange, I think it has to do with the amount of watch time. Because, yeah, that's got to be it. It's got to have to do with with watch time. KO says, who knows? I want to see what happens. I don't know. I will keep an eye on it. Because like I said, I've got like a list now, which is kind of nice because now at the end of the stream, I can you know, see everyone who is here. So that's cool. But yeah, okay, so this girl is going to, Tess says, let's find out. I'm gonna keep going. Please don't mind me. Oh. I think it said watch time and, pressing the like button and hitting subscribe, something like that. It gives you XP. I don't know. I'm just kidding. I don't actually know what causes the XP. Here's okay, here we are talking about counter service.
I have a question. When y'all go out and like order something like at the counter, you're not sitting down, you're not getting served, you just order something at the counter and there's a tipping section. Are y'all tipping? Because I'm not. And I always feel judged and I'm just like, but why am I tipping you? I'm not eating in. I'm paying you for my food. I'm taking it to go. Why am I tipping you for doing your job? I don't understand.
You know what?
Tipping culture.
Now,
I can't.
Now, I hate to say it, but I kind of agree. I kind of agree. Angelina says I looked it up and you're right. I'm right about what? Okay. Now, I used to work at a sandwich place, and the employees loved getting tips, you know, and that was a great thing for them, but they also got an hourly wage. So if they got no tips, it wasn't really any skin off their back because they're already getting paid an appropriate amount of money for the work that they're doing. But, you know, I think that there's room for tipping on pickup orders and quick casual, quick service restaurants if the person provides extraordinary service or you ask a little bit more of someone than the typical customer would. I mean, you know, it kind of is like going to Subway. Like, that person is paid hourly to make your sandwich. Like, you really shouldn't have to tip them. And being pressured to is awkward for some people. And that might drive them away from your restaurant. You know, if you always have your hand out, like, just charge how much money you need to charge to pay the employees so that they don't need to rely on tips. That's my feeling on it anyways. Keho says, I'm on a list, not the first time. Okay, Anne says there's a couple different meanings. All right. Now, okay, hold on. I didn't let her finish.
I can't. I'm all for
It's the phenomenal on TikTok, by the way.
If I sit down and I get served, I'm tipping you. I'm tipping you based on your service. But nonetheless, I'm tipping. However, I refuse to tip you for standing at the counter and handing me my food. No, absolutely not. No,
yep.
Nope.
I'm with you.
I'm
with you. I'm with you. See, and before we know it, McDonald's workers and Burger King and all those people would be asking for tips. And it wasn't that long ago that they were telling us that they deserve to make $20 an hour. Do you remember that? Do you remember how restaurant workers need to make $20 an hour or it's robbery? Remember that movement from 2 years ago? Well, now they make their $20 an hour at a job that's supposed to be entry level for children, and now you have college graduates doing it. And I don't know, man. I'm torn on this because, like, I want to support the people in the business, but at the same time, it's like, geez, like we're really just asking for so much here. So here's another person talking about tipping on to-go orders. KO says, I make tips. I need to be a better dancer. On the grill, I don't have many moves. Jack, she says, Jack, are you from Canada? Yes, he is from Canada. Jack is in Canada.
So are we tipping when we get food to go? Because I
Look
do find
at
it a
this
little
guy, a
frustrating.
little dapper Dan here. You know, his shirt's a little dirty, but he is, man, that face has never seen sun. Look at that guy.
That I go up to the counter, order something myself, and then I get an iPad flipped around in front of me asking for a 20% tip when there isn't really much service involved. I grew up in a country where tipping is not mandatory.
20% at counter service is crazy work. That's crazy. Like, I feel like if you're picking up, he says yes, BC. Okay. KO says McDonald's makes so much money. Exactly. And I hope that that's not coming next, because I haven't seen them ask for tips, but it wouldn't surprise me. Spinning the iPad around is just the most brutal. I hate that about our society. Why do we have this? Why does the customer need to operate the iPad?
Mandatory like it is here. If you go out to eat, at least a 20% tip is expected, no matter what the service is. Now, I will.
Yeah, but 20% on pickup is crazy. 10% max on takeout.
Something myself, and especially not even eating there, I feel like tipping shouldn't even be asked. I've seen a few people on this app saying they are not tipping if they're going up to the counter and ordering food themselves, only if someone comes to you and takes your order. And
now, even then, if you walk into a restaurant to pick up food, let's say you ordered it ahead of time, someone had to take your order or whatever, you use their stupid app so they can track your location at all times. You walk in there to pick up $50 worth of food and they want a $10 tip on a $50 pickup order? You're already charging me $50. I'm really not in the mood to give you an extra 10. Like, if you can't afford to pay your employees, charge me $55, you know?
I honestly kind of agree with that. There isn't really much service interaction when you go up to the counter and place the order yourself. All they're doing is punching in a few numbers on the iPad and then flipping it around. It's also kind of ridiculous that the minimum tip option on the iPad is 20%, and then it goes up to 30%. I mean, that seems absolutely wild.
30%?
30% tip to get
on
something
pickup
to go.
order
I
is
have recently started
crazy.
pressing no tip on to-go orders and anywhere where I go up to the counter and ordering it myself. And at first it does feel a little weird, but now it's actually kind of nice. But I do want to know your thoughts. Should we be tipping every single time, or are there a few circumstances at a restaurant where you don't tip? Let me know your thoughts in the comment.
Okay, that's interesting. They got keyboard shortcuts now on TikTok, but we don't have the ability to speed up the video yet. That's stupid. Well, hey, we love new features here. I love all these little purple crowns next to everyone's name. That's really cool. Anyways, so yeah, I don't feel like you should feel pressured to tip if you're just picking up food for 1 or 2 people, even 4 people. If you call it in and pick up an order, what are we tipping for? Now here's something I don't know a lot about because I don't have hair. But this young lady's going to talk about tipping at the hair salon. And in case you wanted to know, that's Ian R. Phillips here, our brown-eyed gentleman in the car. Here's the hair salon.
I just got my hair done like 30 minutes ago, and when I was checking out to pay, I went to the receptionist, because normally in the past when I've been to salons, like that's, you get your whatever.
Sorry, this is the I'm Right, You're Wrong podcast. and I guess they're on TikTok. I really like this girl. I think she has a cool vibe. I liked her story, so check her page out.
It's done by a stylist, and then you go deal with the payment and the tip with the receptionist, which is kind of nice because then you don't have to like deal with the awkwardness of figuring out how much you're going to tip someone with that person directly. But that's not.
Keho says you would love me in a crown. Oh, okay. Is that the what song is that? Is that Billie Eilish? It is Billie Eilish, isn't it? You should see me in a... Well, I probably shouldn't sing it. I'll probably get, like, copyright strike or something. Yeah.
It's not how things work at the salon, so I go to the receptionist. She's like, no, you're going to be sorting that out with your stylist. So I was like, okay, but already I get a little nervous because that's how I am. I get all worked up in social settings. So I'm talking my...
Now, actually, I'm sorry to joke over top of her, but now I actually really relate to this part because Becky in the chat says, hello, I'm first. What is up, Becky? Hope you're having a great 4th of July. Happy 4th. Meech back in the chat says, sorry, I've been missing the whole show. I'm trying to have the whole fam over. Hey, that's okay. It's a holiday, baby. You know, we're just hanging out. Now, this girl brings up an interesting point, and it is that you, by demanding tips as a business, you're putting your customers in a potentially awkward situation that make them feel uncomfortable. And then they might feel pressured to do something that they normally wouldn't do or didn't intend to do. And this, KO says, love that song. Yes, it is a good one, dude. I agree. Actually, really like that one. Meech says, did we do the crumble yet? Okay, so sidebar, I didn't eat it on. What I'm seeing on the internet is that most people do not want to see other people eat food on camera. So, I did not try it on camera, but we tried the Patriotic America birthday cookie. It's like has like buttercream icing on it. It was really good. And then I got the Benson Boone moon something. I don't know. It's a Benson Boone cookie, okay? And I honestly it sounded good. I didn't like it. It was not good. They brought it back for its second week. It was supposed to be like the awesome thing. What I should have got is the strawberry shortcake, and I think I might just go back there tomorrow and just get the strawberry shortcake before it's gone, because, like, disappointing, dude. Like, the birthday cookie was fine, but it's just, like, plain, like, buttercream icing on a cookie. Like, Beach says, no food on camera. Did bacon strips tell you that? Bacon strips did not tell me that. I just ate it too quickly, honestly. Okay, so here is... I did get the Spindrift Grapeade. So it's actually pink, but it's delicious. I really like that one. 14 calories. We are not being paid to say that yet. Okay, yet. Nietzsche's Benson Boone looks delicious, so why does his treat not taste delicious? You know, maybe we'll talk about Benson Boone on Monday. I got some Benson Boone thoughts. KO says, oh my god, Drew, eat it. Mukbang. That's right. You know, I was watching our friend Jane earlier. Speaking of mukbangs, she's back. She's back to posting videos again. So, Meech says, "Ooh, wine glass. We fancy. That's right. That's right. Got the pinky out. Pinky out." Okay, so now my point with this video is that business owners need to be aware when they're bringing up the tip. You got to be careful because you don't want to pressure someone into doing something they don't want to do, and she definitely gets pressured. Let's hear this.
I get a little nervous because that's
this is the I'm right, you're wrong podcast.
I get all worked up in social settings. So
me too, bud.
Like,
I'm with you.
You get a discount if you pay in the full thing in cash. And I was like, oh, I definitely don't have enough cash. And he's like, I'll still give you the discount if you pay half with cash. And I have like $3 in my wallet.
We're at a salon, by the way.
So I was like, no, I won't have it all. But I could tell at that point that he really wanted me to pay with cash. So then I asked him, I was like, okay, is there an ATM around the corner? And he's like, yeah, there actually is. There's a CVS and there's an ATM inside. And I was like, great. And then he like takes out his phone and he's like, so it's $275 and then with a 20% tip, and he's like trying to do the math.
Okay, $275, 20% tip, and he's trying to do the math. Now, I would make the argument that some people just cannot do the math. Like, I found a guy who thought he was tipping 18%, he was tipping 12%. And it's not a huge deal, but when you're talking about a $300 bill, it is. But real quick, if you're watching this and you are like, I have no idea how to calculate 20% and off the top of my head. It's $275, okay, guys? Move the decimal point over 1. That's $27.50, right? That's 10%. Double it. That's your tip. There's 20%. Boom. Solved world problems, okay? Now, while she is trying to calculate what 20% is, she blurts something out that she regrets. Ange says, I want some crumble. Me too, all the time. I want to eat crumble for every meal. Those cookies should be illegal. I have the app. I'm like fully, I'm in there, you know? It's a problem. They're open till like 11 o'clock at night too, which is even worse. So, KO says, Dandy Boys, he's so fancy. What's that song from the early aughts? I don't know off the top of my head. I'll have to think about it. Okay, so okay, let's hear the end of her story here.
Math on his phone.
Sorry, bacon strips.
And I just was like, and I got nervous, so I was like, I'm just gonna take out $400. What I meant by that is like, I'll take out $400 and we can figure out like what 20% is later. But he's like,
I think everyone knows what she meant by that. He was trying to figure out, okay, it's $275. I don't know what 20% is. She's like, okay, I'll just pull out $400 and we'll figure it out.
Like, oh no, honey, $400 is way too much. And so now I'm realizing, oh, he thought I was saying I'm going to pay him $400. And I'm like, fuck, in my head. I obviously don't say that out loud. I'm like, no, don't worry about it.
Because $300 wouldn't be enough. That would be 11%?
I'll be right back. So I go to CVS and I'm contemplating like what to do. But honestly, I've already said it out loud. So I take out $400.
I love her earrings.
And I'm like trying to figure out what a 20% tip is from $275. Then I get back to the salon and he's like, it's with the discount's only $250, but I've already decided. I've already said out loud.
So the man says, I gave you a discount. It's only $250. Probably because he knows she's about to give him $400 and he wanted that extra amount in the tip, right?
He thinks I've proposed I'm going to pay him $400. It's like a tacky move, just even though that's not.
Now, I kind of disagree because I feel like he knew what she meant. You know, he knew what she meant. But okay, sure.
What I said, or what I intended to convey, it's a tacky move to be like, I'll pay you $400 and then not pay $400. So, Merry Christmas to my hairstylist. And you can thank my social anxiety for that one.
Aw. See, that sucks. Like, I would never want to have a customer have that experience at my business and feel pressured to tip a lot more than they would have. KO says, I'll look it up. You can't play it anyway. Yeah, that's right. You're right. I cannot. It literally... Okay, the one stream that we recently did, that got demonetized, or whatever, not demonetized, none of them are monetized, it got copyright claimed, was the DoorDash stream. Like, towards the end of the stream, we watched a video that was a person recording him and his wife's interaction with a DoorDash driver. I don't know if you guys remember, that was the one where the DoorDash driver was loading the groceries back into his car because they didn't tip. Well, apparently, the Daily Mail owns that person's cell phone footage of that incident. So my playing 20 seconds of the video spread out over 10 minutes of commentary was apparently so egregious that they had to file a copyright claim. So what I'm going to do is edit those parts out, like, obnoxiously. I'm going to put, like, a banner on the screen that says Daily Mail, and then mute out when their video is playing. It's gonna be obnoxious as hell. So if a random live stream reposts this week, that's what that is. Because I had to change it to unlisted so I didn't get in trouble. So blah blah blah, whatever. Stupid YouTube stuff. But Meech says the anxiety at the tip screen is real. Dude, I'm with you. I hate that. I hate that we have to make that decision right in front of the person that it affects. You know? They're like, hey, do you want a tip or no? You know, like, we're at Subway. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't ask for anything crazy. You made me a turkey sandwich and you got paid $18 an hour to do it, brother. How much money do you want? You know? Like, I don't know. I don't know. KO says, what did he do? Okay, this is that bartender girl on TikTok. She has a pretty big following, and her take on this is not going to surprise you.
If you are not tipping 18 to 20% in America, stay home. One person not tipping is never going to affect someone like me, who is a volume bartender who does a tip pool and a tip share. However, I will tell you who it's going to affect.
Meech says, hey, Subway has sandwich artists.
A standard serving section is around 4 to 5 tables, meaning you are responsible for those tables the whole night. You are responsible for flipping them, turning them. The more people you get flipped and turned, the more money you make. Now,
sure.
Yeah. Comes and sits in your section, them and their whole family. They sit there for an hour and a half ordering food, margaritas, drinks, taking up your time and your space. When the bill comes, they don't tip $1. That server now just lost money and paid for them to dine. Because that server has to do a tip out, meaning they have to pay a bartender a percentage of the alcohol sales sold, they have to pay a food runner a percentage of the food for them to run it to your table, and they have to pay the busser who bussed your table. And
so are her eyes really that blue, or is this like some sort of filter? Tess says, I know I'm not the popular response to the tip screen, but I literally do not care when it's a place that I'm not being served, just putting no tip. Like, you and I both know you didn't do anything for a tip. I agree. Like, these places already are asking way too much money for stuff. Just like in the other stream we were talking about, like McDonald's they tripled the rate of inflation, more than tripled the rate of inflation, and just used that as a crutch to blast their prices through the moon. And now we're all paying $5 for some garbage burger. and they want tips at fast food places. I went to Subway, and it's like $20 for one person to eat. $5 footlong is gone. They're like $12 footlong now. Subway, McDonald's, like they all think they're fancy food. So like it's crazy. It's not even worth it. Just go to Chili's, go to Applebee's, TGI Fridays, get takeout. Don't tip anything. Just walk out of there. Or, you know, tip 10% if you feel like they did a good job or whatever. But like, I feel like making people tip at every single point in society is going to result in tipped workers like servers that actually need the tip not getting them anymore because people are so burnt out on tipping, like this guy.
I don't believe in tipping, and here's why.
That's a really nice beard, by the way.
The other day I went to Shake Shack, placed my order on an iPad. I got absolutely no service, yet on the iPad I got asked if I wanted to tip, and they had the audacity to start at 15, 18, or 20%. Or how about this one? I went to a bar, I bought a drink, and in my receipt has a tipping option at the bottom, but they sneakily put in a service.
Okay. So it says they put in a 20% service charge. The company retains and redistributes the service charge, which goes directly to support our team and provide them with living wages and benefits. Okay, that's great. That's great if you want to give your employees benefits and a living wage. I don't think really that's something that you should be bragging about. I think everybody kind of should do that, you know, right? Meech says there are instances where I do want to tip and there isn't a tip option. I'm with you. Some places, they don't allow their employees to accept tips, and sometimes they deserve it. Like the grocery store or something, you know?
Service charge right above the tipping option. So whether I want to or not, I have to tip either way. Why are they asking me to tip twice? And then there's Starbucks. So I ordered my drink, which is already like $5, and then they have the audacity to ask me to tip as well. As someone who's worked in the hospitality industry for over 5 years,
Now, Starbucks, I order on the app, and I've never been asked to... I don't think there's a tip screen on the app, is there? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there's no tip pressure on the app. Tess says pickup orders, Meech. Exactly. Like, you know, sometimes they knock it out of the park. Sometimes, you know, maybe you ask for something that's like a little bit of a pain and you want to like show them a little love. I think that's a good thing. The option to tip is great. But the pressure to tip is where we have a problem. Like, some of these places are getting out of control with the percentages, too. Like, can we keep it at 15, 20, 25? Or if it's a quick service place, 10, 15, 20? Because this is nuts right here.
Look at our guys. This is how we pay here in America. You can see all the three options for tipping. 20%.
Now, so this is a normal one right here. It's a $93 order. 20% tip would be $15.66.
That used to be the high end. 18% was okay service, and 15% was just, you know.
Personally, I would tip an even 20 if you feel like you got good service, but okay, sure. Tess says, well, and those kids are actually doing something for me. Yeah, exactly. If someone's not providing a service and they're getting paid a fair hourly wage, what are they asking for these tips for?
You know, your baseline, but now they want 25%.
25 is crazy.
If you guys thought that was bad, look
at this one here. I don't know where this is. He doesn't say, but 30%, 40%, 50%. Now, this is a pretty low, Now it's a $28 bill. And they want a 40% tip. That's wild, dude. What are we doing? This is nuts. Oh my god, dude. See, there you go, Meech. There it is. It's involuntary. I can't stop. Okay, so here now this lady, I thought this was an interesting poll on society, okay? So she had a table of 6 ladies. Number 1, if you have a party of 6, just be all on one check. Just be adults and get one check. You know? You're gonna make this girl split everyone's check up, print 6 checks. It's insane. Okay, but here we go. Let's see what 6 random ladies decided to tip on their lunch orders.
Women tipped. First one, total was $51. They left $9. Second.
Now, and I'm not saying that in the way that like girls don't tip or whatever. I'm just saying that's who is in this example. I think there are plenty. I think that women probably tip better in general. In my experience as a server.
One total of $32, $0 tip. $55, $0 tip. $60, left $6.
Dude, $0 on 55 is mental, dude. You couldn't leave $5. You could drop $55 on lunch. You can't give your server $5. Come on.
$21, left $7, and then
see 7 on 21's good. That's 30%.
$23 left $4.
$23 left $4. So if they would have all put their orders together, she would have got a decent tip. You know, like probably I bet all their food together. I don't know. Let's say it was $250. You know, she gets $50. Instead, she gets $11. You know, like just don't go to restaurants. If you can't afford it, it's fine. It's fine to be frugal, and it's fine to have a food budget. But if you're gonna go to a restaurant, you need to know that these costs are part of it, and your activism doesn't belong on the tip line of a meal that you've just eaten.
Tipping culture is not.
This girl got asked, her dad got asked to tip in a really weird place that I have never heard of this profession asking for tips. So we'll see what you guys think.
Not out of control. You guys are just assholes. Which is what I used to think. Tipping culture is not out of control. You guys are just assholes. Which is what I used to think until my parents were visiting me and their like air conditioning broke. So I drive my dad over to pick up the car. And he comes back with the keys, about to like walk over to where the car is. And he's kind of distraught, which is not...
Their air conditioning broke in their vehicle. Okay.
Like him. And he's like, I always tip, but I'm confused. And I'm like,
what?
What are you talking about? He's like, I literally just paid, I don't know, $500 to have my car fixed. And then the guy swivels at the car mechanic. Swivels the screen
not the iPad
like,
at the car.
20%,
no.
25%.
No.
20%. And he's like, I never don't push a button for a percentage to tip, but I didn't tip. Are we tipping car mechanics?
They had a whole iPad?
No.
Oh my god.
We're definitely not tipping car mechanics now.
No.
At least not that I know.
Now, listen. I love car mechanics and I appreciate the work they do. Pat Wooey out there wrenching hard for us, or at least he used to be for a little while. You know, it's a hard job and it requires a lot of knowledge and expensive tools and it costs a lot of money. But if you're a mechanic, just tell me how much it costs. Don't ask me for a tip. Don't spend an iPad 20%. I just paid $500 to fix my car and you want a $100 tip? Oh, dude, I don't know. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do we tip the mechanic? I don't see where I would never tip a mechanic. I don't know. They make good money, guys. They make more than we make, probably. More than most people make. They're doing okay. ASE certified, guys. Tessa says absolutely not. I'm with you. I'm not tipping the mechanic. Sorry, Pat. I'm just, yeah. Tess says that's what the labor charge is for. Exactly. What are we tipping on at the mechanic? It's not like the mechanic makes $2.13 an hour and he's hoping that you tip him $100 on the brake job so he can pay his rent. That's not how any of this works. It's crazy. Okay, so here, this is, now, they didn't mention the restaurant that's doing this, and I want to know what place is doing this in the drive-thru.
Are we tipping at drive-thrus? I just picked up some food, and I went through the drive-thru, and they handed me the little thing that said 18, 20, 22% or whatever. And I picked 18 because I didn't want to.
Now they're handing you the credit card machine in the car through the drive-thru window? This is Annie Nicole ATX on TikTok, by the way.
I tipped 20, and then I felt like an asshole for tipping 18 instead of 20 plus. But it was the drive-thru.
18% tip at the drive-thru is mental.
Fill me in.
Wow. No way. I would never tip at the drive-thru. That's insane. Here's a person who claims to have been asked to tip at a kiosk, and I have never seen a kiosk, a self-service kiosk, a screen, ask me for a tip before, but this person claims that it happened.
If I have to go up to order, I'm not tipping.
The other day I was at a restaurant, and when I got there, you don't order from a person, you order from like a little kiosk. And then at the end of my order, it asked for a tip, and I was like, I don't really feel like tipping if I have to go up to a kiosk, like someone's not even taking my order from me. And then when we went and sat down, instead of bringing our food to our table when it was ready, they rang a bell and called out our order number. So they didn't even bring it to our table.
What?
What in that service deserves a tip?
Yeah, like you go up to the counter and order and they don't even bring it to your table. What's the tip for?
Because I did all the work except for making the food, and I don't think you should be tipped for making food.
And the people making the food are making an hourly wage. They're not making $2 an hour, which is why we tip servers.
That's the bare minimum that your job is required.
Unreal. And in case you're wondering, the original video that she stitched there is fantastic, and I have it right here for you, but hold on a second. Jack says, I got a surprising amount of tips as a tire tech, but I don't get tipping mechanics. I'm with you. I mean, tips are great, and having the option to tip is one thing, but spinning the iPad around on a $500 AC repair is crazy. That's crazy. But yeah, so here is this lady giving her brutal take on self-serve. Actually, I love her energy. She's a great personality here on this Subway interview.
What's your take?
Now you can find this on Subway Takes on TikTok. It's a pretty good channel, actually. It's really good.
I have to go up to order, I'm not tipping. You know, restaurants are all the self-sort. They're all.
I love the guy's shocked face. Like, he's absolutely flabbergasted that she won't tip at Panera Bread. Like, what, bro?
Self-serve now. So
0%.
0. At this point, I work there.
You're doing the work. You should get tipped.
They have the nerve
Exactly.
on the iPad to do 15% tip. Chas v'shalom, 20% tip. Tip you? Why don't you tip me? Take 15%, 20 off the bill.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, literally, just pay people a living wage and leave us alone already.
Tipping when you have to do the work is awful.
Now, I agree and I don't agree. You know, like, it depends. It depends where you're at, but yes. Just raise your prices a little bit so you can pay your employees enough that they won't ask for tips.
Yeah, what, come a year? We're tipping 45%, we're making the shit ourselves?
What about coffee shops?
0.
You didn't tip for that.
Oh, this guy was rude as hell. I want to even cover the name here. I don't even want to give...
Do you guys tip on coffee? Am I a jerk? Am I a jerk not tipping Starbucks and everyone else is tipping Starbucks? The coffee's already $8. Like, the employees making $16 an hour starting to make the coffee drink. What are we doing? Why are we tipping them?
Give them anything.
I don't get it.
I'm telling you right now, the business must pay their employees.
Yeah.
They continue to levy more and more on the consumer.
You're doing a peaceful protest.
Yes. You tip...
Now, I would say, do your peaceful protest by not going there. But, okay. Tess says, I love y'all. Thank you, Drew, but I gotta get a quick workout in before the fireworks. Well, hey, enjoy, and thank you for being here, Tessa. I appreciate you hanging out. And enjoy the fireworks and your workout. But yeah, I agree. I agree with this. You know, we should just... The quick service employees need to just make enough money that they don't need to ask for tips.
Where you have service at a restaurant, tip 45.
Now everyone expects 20%.
You know, especially a coffee shop. You know, they love to flip it back, the iPad. Nobody flips one back better than me. I don't give a fuck.
You hit 0 and then you flip it right back. You know what I do? I leave a penny tip.
But that's what it should be. If you're feeling...
1 penny, dude? That's almost worse than leaving 0. I don't know. I think a penny... Like, man, when people would leave as a server, if people would leave change as a tip on their table, oh man, there's nothing more degrading.
A tip, give a tip. But a mandatory tip, now we've lost the essence of the tip. Now we're getting wages. Now I work there, and I'm paying to work there.
Yes.
By the way, people said, oh, well, inflation, because inflation went up. Yeah, well, a tip's a percentage. So you're getting a percentage of the inflated price. What are we double dipping?
Pay
your people and leave us alone already.
She's right. She's right.
Back the $2 tip.
100% agree. I'm in.
Yeah, I'm with you. $1 or $2, that should be enough. Unless you're at one of these places that we talked about, obviously. But in case you are wondering what it might be like if servers just made an hourly wage, because that's everybody's obvious suggestion is, oh, well, we just need to pay servers an hourly wage, and then they won't need tips anymore. But guess what? No one's gonna want to be a server anymore if you make it a non-tipped job, because they're not standing there to make $15 an hour. Servers make a lot more than that, and that's why they do it. So here is... this is a funny skit. This is POV servers make an hourly wage.
Hello, welcome to our lovely establishment.
Sorry, this is Podcast Adrian on TikTok. This is from 4 days ago. This is a fresh one, y'all.
The servers do make $14 an hour. No need to tip. I'm sure you'll have... Hello, welcome to our lovely establishment. The servers do make $14 an hour. No need to tip. I'm sure you'll have a great experience.
Y'all sat me again?
I love the slow motion video, too. He slowed the video down like 50%.
What? You need water? We just ran out.
Ran out of water. Fresh out. I only get $14.
I'm not doing all that.
No.
I serve one or less people.
Not a 4-top. You can check out Podcast Adrian on TikTok. But earlier we were talking about Bezos' wedding. This is a girl who... I couldn't find her original video, but I found a stitch. This is a girl who served Jeff Bezos at a bar, okay? One of the richest guys in the world.
Jeff Bezos came into my restaurant and I had the opportunity to serve him, and he did not pay the bill. In fact, I was told that Jeff doesn't get the bill, and that the bill will be delivered to his 2 security guards that sat at the bar and watched him eat.
Oh, Jeffy.
To which, of nobody's surprise,
he doesn't even
they left
touch
a
the bill.
20% tip, which I'm always grateful for. You know, any tip is better than no tip. But it made me sick that man could hand every single person in that restaurant $60 million, and the next 27 generations of his family would still be able to not lift a pretty little finger and be able to survive.
I mean...
He was actually very nice, and...
Just because someone's rich doesn't mean they have to give you all of their money, but okay.
Addressed me by my first name and was very respectful, remembered my name the whole time, and...
Well, hey, that's really about all you can ask for. Because he has FU money and he doesn't have to be nice to anyone, and he is. So, I mean, that's not really that bad. Like, she made it sound like, oh, he didn't even pay his bill, the security paid the bill. The bill got paid. Come on now.
Even Lauren was very sweet, but it just...
I wonder what the security tipped, though. That's what I want to hear.
Blew my mind that they rid themselves of the responsibility of knowing what the bill was, because then that way they kind of bypass me as a server being able to say, oh, well, Jeff didn't tip me. His security did.
No, it's that the man doesn't want to carry a wallet around because he's a billionaire.
Like,
When did it become the responsibility of somebody that is looking to go get something to eat to make sure that you have generational wealth?
I agree. I agree. That's Lanton Daniels on TikTok there. It looks like the first character is a 1, the number 1.
I am so confused. And see, this is what's wrong with America, is that nobody believes that they have to create a product, go through the woes of risking everything that you've ever worked for or leaving your job in order to start a business, then becoming successful, choosing how you want to live your life. America used to be the land of the free, home of the brave. It used to be...
We still are. Tipping has 0 to do with that stuff, but go off.
A place where everybody had an opportunity to go and do what they want to do when they want to do it. You can go and live your life how you want to, freedom of speech and all of this. And this is largely what we're getting back to in the Trump administration and our cultural...
Okay, that's where I'm out. We don't do politics here, but thank you. That's Lanton Daniels 5 days ago. I mean, honestly, I don't think that's that controversial. That's great that Jeff's security tipped the server 20%. You know, what are we upset about? But I think that this girl has the ultimate take, and I wanted to play her video last. And her advice is just don't go out.
I'm gonna piss some people off when I say this, but if you cannot tip when you go to a restaurant for sit-down service, whether you're at the bar, sitting there eating, drinking, not even eating, just drinking, having a conversation, you are there for an extended period of time, or you're sitting at a table, if you cannot afford to tip 15 to 20% when it's good service, don't fucking go out to eat, my guy.
Yes.
Listen, okay,
Yes.
I understand that tipping culture is completely crazy right now. I don't think that we should be tipping at Starbucks. I don't think that we should be tipping, I don't know, at the fucking grocery.
See, and you can still have a problem with tipping at places that don't need a tip and still provide a decent tip to your server.
Store, you shouldn't be having to tip your, all the weird shit nowadays, even the hairdressers. I'm like, can you just increase your rate so I don't have to tip you? I mean, they are providing a service and you're there for a couple of hours, so like I can kind of understand it, but at the same time, I'd rather you just include it in the price point. But my thing is, like, if you are at a sit-down restaurant, if you are at a bar, if you are at a restaurant, if you are getting continual service from a provider, like a service member, a waitress, a waiter, a bartender, you should be tipping. I have just
1,000%. 1,000%. Especially the longer you're there. Like the other lady was pointing out, the longer you're sitting in a section, the more money you're costing the server at a restaurant.
Just watch a series of like 500 or 600 videos back to back to back on my main page of people who are like counting their tips. They're like, oh, I just had a table of 5 people. Let's count my tips individual. And half of them didn't even...
That was the video we just watched a little bit ago. The 6 ladies.
Leave any tip whatsoever. 0 tip whatsoever. Which means that waiter pretty much worked...
Look at that ring, by the way. What?
For free for them. And the other ones all left 10%. 10%? You guys know that these people are literally making like $2 an hour, right? In most states. $2 an hour. And that...
This is Megan. I don't know how to say that. Megan. Oh, okay. I'm stupid. Megan Eleanor again on Twitter. Or on TikTok, sorry.
And that $2 per hour is going to have to get tipped out to the bartender. They got your drinks. It's going to get tipped out to the person who's bussing your tables. It's getting tipped out to the food runner.
Yep.
Which means more than likely that waitress just paid to work that day. How do you feel comfortable going to a restaurant and not tipping? Now, this is, again, not including people who are like shit waitresses and waiters, but like even people who are shit waitresses and waiters, I would tip like 15 to 18%. If you were...
See, I agree. Even if you do a terrible job as a server, from me, you're getting 15%. Now, I'll let her finish first, and then I'll tell you my stance on it.
Giving me baseline service, just saying, hi, hello, a smile on your face and give me food. I'm tipping you minimum 20 to 25%, only over 20% because I used to work in the restaurant industry. But what the fuck, you cheap ass bitches who cry, tipping's not mandatory. It's mandatory at a restaurant.
Yep.
It is mandatory at a fucking restaurant. And if you cheap ass bitches can't afford a tip, don't go out to eat.
Get them, girl. Love it. Absolutely love that take. Now, personally, what I do when I go to a restaurant, okay, is I will calculate the 20% using the complicated formula we went over earlier. And then I will round up to the next $5. So if 20% is $11.33, I'll leave $15. If it's $15.99, I'm going to leave $20. That's just me, though. If you have mediocre service and you want to let your server know, hey, that you didn't do that great of a job, give them a 15%, give them a 10% tip. But to give someone nothing at a restaurant, when you know that that is how they make their money, that's gross to me. You can't be going out to these places if you don't believe in tipping. It's fine to have that position, but have that position at home. Make your own food. But at these pickup places, dude, y'all are gonna ruin it for everyone. Because if people get burned out at having to tip at Starbucks, and they gotta tip at Shake Shack, they gotta tip the mechanic, they gotta tip the HVAC guy that comes to their house, where does it stop? What are we gonna do when the expected tip amount is 40%, 50%, like that video we were looking at? It just keeps going up and up. It used to be 20% was the very top. That was what you wanted to get as a server. But now 20%'s the minimum. And I feel like that's the wrong direction. We gotta find some sort of balance between the servers who want to make enough money to be able to pay their bills, and the customers who don't want to pay insane prices to just go out and get a simple meal. So my advice is, if you don't believe in tipping, go to the quick service places, don't give them $1, or better yet, get groceries and stay home. Because you don't deserve to be out in society if you don't feel like other people's work is worth contributing toward. So, get out there, enjoy your 4th of July, enjoy your weekends, tip your servers, and maybe not your Shake Shack worker. I don't know. Do you have Shake Shack where you are? I don't go there a lot. But it's an expensive place, and you're gonna charge a lot of money for fast food and then still ask for tips. That's dangerous. That's dangerous territory, because eventually customers are gonna get burned out. They're not gonna want to pay these tips anymore, and then they're not gonna tip anyone. So then all these people who live their life solely based on tips will have to find something else. But I feel like it's not too late. We can fix this. We can get rid of the iPads in the places where they don't need to be, and we can still tip our servers a proper wage. So, I know that my viewers would never stiff their servers. So, I know we don't have anything to worry about there. So, hey, you guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your holiday. And we will see you on Monday for the extras. Peace.